British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has failed to get Northern Ireland's political leaders to resume their power-sharing arrangement. For years, power has been divided between pro-British unionists and nationalists who support reunification with the Irish Republic. And now disagreements over the post-Brexit border arrangement are causing further divisions.
Nationalist protesters say they're holding a funeral for the rule of law. They want the British Prime Minister to force the Unionist parties back to Stormont, but the Democratic Unionist Party is refusing to share power until a hard border is re-established between the north and south of Ireland.
It's very clear to us that despite all of the rhetoric from the British government about re-establishing the executive here in the north, that in fact their priority is placating the DUP.
The Northern Ireland Protocol is a product of Britain's EU split. It effectively introduces a customs border, but not a hard border between Britain and Ireland, which is still in the EU. It ensures that trade can pass freely between the north and the south. The pro-British Democratic Unionist Party opposes the protocol.
We've had the words. We now need to see the action. That's what we're looking for from our government, from our Prime Minister. It's decisive action on the protocol.
The British Prime Minister now flagging a new law to get around the protocol, which the EU regards as non-negotiable.
We would love this to be done in a consensual way with our friends and partners, ironing out the problems.
Despite signing up to the agreement, Boris Johnson is critical of the protocol, saying that it's out of date and doesn't take into account current cost of living pressures. He's warning that if the EU doesn't make some major concessions, the UK government will have to act.
The British Prime Minister has created the impression, at least, that he is minded to get rid of the protocol. Now, that clearly is not possible. Legally, that is not permissible.
The EU warns that such a move could result in trade sanctions. The Irish Republic is pleading with the UK not to undermine the 1998 peace deal in Ireland that helped end decades of violence.
So this is a time for calmness. It's a time for dialogue. It's a time for compromise and partnership between the EU and the UK.
Boris Johnson says he does not want to scrap the Northern Ireland Protocol, but something has to change. Abby Dinham, SBS World News.
The British government has risked sparking a trade war with the European Union after announcing plans to alter the disputed Northern Ireland Protocol. It was negotiated after Britain left the European Union, but pro-British unionists in Northern Ireland don't like it and they're refusing to share power with their rivals until it's scrapped. A situation the UK's Foreign Secretary says is now of grave concern.
The busy ports of Northern Ireland have always played an essential role in trade both within the UK and between Britain and the EU. But since Brexit, they have been at the centre of a storm because of the so-called Northern Ireland Protocol.
Secretary Truss.
The UK Foreign Secretary bowing to pressure from her own backbench, announcing Britain is now seeking to make changes.
The bill will put in place the necessary measures to lessen the burden on East-West trade and to ensure the people of Northern Ireland are able to access the same benefits as the people of Great Britain.
The protocol as it stands dictates that some goods must be checked before they enter Northern Ireland, placing what is in effect a customs border within the UK. The proposed changes would involve the introduction of a green channel for goods travelling between Britain and Northern Ireland, ensuring those that are staying in the UK are freed of unnecessary bureaucracy if they're not destined for the EU. Checks will remain in place for goods continuing on to the EU. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he would prefer negotiations with the EU over unilateral action in the British Parliament.
Let's fix it. We don't want to nix it, we want to fix it, and we want to work with our EU partners to do it.
The Democratic Unionist Party, which opposes a united Ireland, cautiously welcomed the move.
Sir Geoffrey Donald.
It says currently the protocol undermines Northern Ireland's right to equal treatment as part of the UK.
But the Foreign Secretary will know that it is actions that speak louder than words. And I welcome her commitment to such decisive action in this statement to the House.
But the EU's response was not so welcoming, claiming any unilateral action to contradict the protocol is unacceptable and warning should the UK decide to move ahead with the bill, the EU will need to respond with all measures at its disposal.
They do have certain rights to retaliate. They always have the right, of course, to simply terminate the free trade agreement between us, the TCA, or parts of it, or simply on notice.
Some British lawmakers say the protocol is endangering peace in Northern Ireland. Politicians there have been unable to form a functioning government because the DUP won't make a deal with Sinn Féin until there are changes. The Foreign Secretary is adamant the new legislation does not breach international law, but many MPs are not convinced, fearing that any move to effectively scrap parts of a legally binding treaty could result in a trade war with Europe. Full details of the legislation will be released in coming weeks. Abby Dinham, SBS World News.